Hey everyone, FSK2 here with another Black Ops 2 guide, specifically snipers. Now you might be saying, hey, this is on Black Ops 1, and that's definitely true. Like I said in the last video, I'm using Black Ops 1 to show what Black Ops 2 most likely will be like. You might say they're completely different, however, I would like to say that's not true, because generally speaking, all Call of Duty games are exactly the same, minus the theme, and minus the gun selection, meaning the guns will be a tiny bit different in, well, appearance. Really what this is a guide to give you the most unfair advantage possible when you start playing Black Ops 2. So what I'm doing is trying to show you the importance of some statistics or stats on your gun in order to allow you to make a more educated decision when it comes to choosing attachments and guns in Black Ops 2. So what we're looking at here is me playing one game on combat training, and this is solely for the reason to get the best data possible, because if I played with an actual lobby of people, I would definitely experience a variation in performance. It's pretty much a really big it would really contribute to the percentage of error and my overall experiment here. So what I basically did was take three groups, and it was the gun, the L96A1 with no attachment whatsoever, and that's the control group. Then I had a L96A1 with a suppressor, and one with a suppressor as well as a variable scope. And the reasoning behind all of it is a suppressor reduces range, and I'm showing the importance of range. That's at least my goal in this video here. Now, a lot of people have a misconception of range and really miss its significance. Range does not mean how far the bullets go at all. However, the range basically means how much damage it will do when distance is increased. So obviously having the best range possible is definitely going to be, well, the most desirable. Now, what the suppressor does is, or why people would use it, is it pretty much makes you invisible, or at least helps you get there. It takes you off the radar whenever you shoot a weapon, so if you're using something like an SMG or an assault rifle, that is extremely useful, and I would definitely recommend it because it does help cut down with recoil. However, with sniper rifles, or when you're trying to maximize your range, it is not the most amazing thing in the world. And I feel Treyarch is really deceptive with their stats. Now, if you've ever tried to select a suppressor in a Call of Duty game, it doesn't seem like too big of a deal, right? You see that it pretty much says you're losing about a stat or 1 point out of like 10. So when you're selecting it, you're like, big deal, it's just 1 point, doesn't mean anything really. But that's not true at all, and I would really like to stress that. And you might be thinking, well, what's there to back up my claims? I could just listen to someone else who's more popular than FSK2. However, I would like to mention that I am using math or science to help back up my answer and really just try to show you how accurate, or like this is actually legitimate and not just my opinion. So for my control group, which is the one with no attachment, I shot at a one-hit kill ratio of about 59%. My game was 20 kills, 9 deaths, and I had a score of about 2,060, which is okay. It's not the most amazing thing in the world, but yeah, it certainly gets the job done. If you're wondering, a one-hit kill ratio is pretty much the formula one-hit kill over shots hit. And a one-hit kill is pretty much if the bullet kills the target in one hit, that's a one-hit kill. So pretty much I divide those two, and that's how I derive the one-hit kill ratio. So 59% is not bad. What really dragged it down was the people who would land in one last stand, pretty much. That really affected the data, because otherwise most of the kills would have pretty much been one-hit kills. If I had to make an estimate, I'd probably say about 75%. So obviously the L9 without any attachment concerning suppressors is pretty awesome. Now, when I used the suppressor on my rifle, I definitely noticed a huge decrease, about 39%. which means I had a one-hit kill ratio of 20%, which is really bad. If you've watched my videos, you'll notice I generally shoot almost always at the hip or just a tiny bit above, so my shots are pretty consistent. They're gonna land in the same general area almost every single time. So seeing a 39% reduction is very significant. You're pretty much seeing an the score is pretty much 3 times less than that of a L9 without a suppressor. So you can already see that using a suppressor cuts down your damage performance significantly, and that's not good at all. I scored a run of about 13, 9, and 1680, which is pretty bad. I died about the same, 9 deaths, but I killed 7 less people, which is really not that great. That's almost half. So then this game you're watching here was the third group, and I thought it was the most significant because I would like to highlight how inaccurate Treyarch is with their statistics. Now, what the suppressor does is, like I've already mentioned, cut down your range. However, the variable scope, which I'm also using here, is supposed to boost up your range big time. Pretty much just the points you miss when you're using a suppressor. So in theory, the suppressor becomes not a factor. However, what's disturbing is that's not true at all. In fact, my one-hit kill ratio in this game was 9%, which means that's 11% less than that of the previous game with a suppressor, which is really sad. What you're seeing is basically a 50% less one-hit kill ratio than that of no attachment whatsoever, which is really disturbing. I performed at about 15.8 and 1800, so it's not awful, I would suppose, compared to the last game, but it's still pretty bad. Even though my deaths went down, I still performed a lot less concerning kill. So obviously you can really see the difference when it comes to damage and performance. Suppressors really do drag down your performance no matter what you do. The variable scope does not help you. If it did, it would show up mathematically. So overall, I hope I helped show you that range does play a significant role. A gun with a much higher range, or just even a little bit, will go a long way. About 50%, up to 50%. Anything that helps boost your range, like a variable scope, is not going to help you. If anything, if you're like me, it's going to hurt your score. So overall, I would like to say just thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Please subscribe, and it helps me feel motivated to make more of these. Like the video and comment, and I'll see you next time. Keep on gaming.